possessing a body of rubber, fighting in whatever way he fancies, the bringer of smiles to all people's faces, and the warrior of liberation brought about by awakening. With the strength of a god and the pure freedom of the sun, it's said that in all the world, there is no power more ridiculous. This is Monkey D. Luffy, the man who will surpass Kaido and become king of the pirates. With his flowing white hair and Looney Tunes-esque appearance, in just 10 short minutes, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, from his power to the lore. This is Luffy's Peak. Here, 5th. And before we start, if you end up enjoying, do us a favor and hit the button. We're dropping 2 videos this week to celebrate Gear 5's release, and if you want this to become a regular thing, we're gonna need those sweet AdSense dollars. Anyways though, timestamps are in the description for anyone who wants to skip around, and otherwise, enjoy the show. To begin, let's open quick with the lore of this power-up, and how it came into existence, so we can get a better understanding of the powers before trying to gauge them. In Chapter 1044 and Episode 1071 of the anime and manga, we learn the truth of Luffy's power, which had been inadvertently hidden from him for so long. In every era for the last 800 years, the world government has attempted to recover the Gum Gum fruit, and not once has it ever succeeded. It was as if the fruit itself was trying to escape their very grasp with a will of its own. This mysterious will, however, was a trademark of a powerful Zoan-type devil fruit, of course. This is why the Gum Gum fruit goes by one other name. The human fruit, mythical type, Model Nika. You see, long ago, there was a figure talked about in legend. It's unclear if he was a man, a god, or someone that never existed at all. However, his story tells of a powerful being who was the freest thing alive, having the ability to put his enemies out of their misery with joy painted upon their faces, likely drawing inspiration from a number of mythologies, be it the Brazilian sun god Mary, or the Japanese Shikifukujin. Regardless of how you interpret the legend of the original sun god Nika, the powers of devil fruits, big or small, are manifested into this world based off of the dreams and imaginations of people. They are given life and will by the thoughts of those who believed in them. This is why, after consuming the devil fruit, once real or not, Luffy would fully take on the attributes of this mythical sun god from legend. And as far as we know, only one other person has ever had this power, and that would be the original Joy Boy from 800 years past. Regardless of person or position, however, it is said that the Nika Fruit's awakening is a greater threat to the world government than even the wrath of Kaido, because all who wield its true power will undoubtedly turn the world upside down. Ah yes, the powers of the Nika Fruit. Half the reason you clicked on this video, I'm sure, and the whole reason why Luffy has a chance of beating Kaido. When looking in at a first glance, Luffy's awakening to these abilities, which I'll call Gear 5th from here on, are widely misinterpreted and misconstrued, with most of the confusion seeming to stem back from one thing. Luffy isn't a rubber man. No, you see, through fully reading the story and watching to the end of the Kaido fight, what we learn is that the Gum Gum fruit as we know it simply doesn't work or fit into the lore of the story. Luffy isn't a rubber man anymore. He's a rubber hose man, or as the series puts it, a rubbery man. First and foremost, Luffy is built like an actual cartoon character, even in his regular form. This is why he can do extravagant things, like make his heart pump blood many times faster, make his arms dozens of times bigger, or turn his whole body into a walking war machine. The world government specifically renamed this fruit long ago because of its unassuming power set and difficulty of awakening. In its regular form, it's practically considered useless and dormant.
Shut your mouth!
But Gear 5th, as you'd expect, takes Luffy's unmastered squash and stretch abilities, then brings him out to the most forefront, while giving him access to the real powers of a god. Yes, while using G5, Luffy is stated to gain 2 major abilities brought about by the special transformation typical of a Zoan. The first is a strong body. We'll go over how exactly strong in just a little bit, but for now, just keep in mind Luffy using his awakening makes him stronger and faster than any of his other gears without even using Haki. The second major stated ability in the unleashed power of the Nika Fruit, fighting however he fancies with nothing but his imagination. A lot of people have mistaken this power to work like Kot or Doffy's awakening, when in reality it is so much more unreasonable than that. Luffy has a nigh complete control over the laws of physics, reality, and space. Well, yes, he can apply that same rubber hose cartoon style of attribute to the world around him to do things like turn the ground into a makeshift rubber shield. This is just the tip of the iceberg. as unlike any Paramecia awakening, Luffy has shown the ability to apply these effects to all things. Not just the ground or the sky, but even living people or intangible objects. Luffy can grab bolts of lightning out of the sky, he can turn Kaido into a balloon, a jump rope, give him the Bam Bam treatment, or just make his eyeballs turn into Stretch Armstrong. And that's still only the beginning. Yes, the tip of the iceberg is him beating up the immortal dragon that no one has been able to do anything to for about the past 200 episodes. But anyways, Luffy has complete autonomy in this form, granting him the ability to instantly morph or contort his body, and seemingly to some extent others, to suit any situation. He can grow into a giant size at the snap of his fingers, become a macho man with just a flex, and can make his face the same shape as Kaido's club, seemingly somewhat negating the damage he took, even though the pain is still obviously present. And I'm sure you've probably caught on at this point, but Luffy is still just getting started as the new Sun God Nika. From what the lore says, and the last few feats say, Luffy really does have a legitimate form of Toon Force. Is it the worst Toon Force to ever Toon Force? Yeah. But does it matter? No, not really. When Luffy starts running through the sky, making trails of fire behind his feet, turning his hair into a pair of sunglasses, or just straight up telling his heart to start beating again, ripped straight out of some sort of Looney Tunes short, it's 100% fair to say that a masterful user of the Sun God Nika fruit, someone who had already brought out its full potential and powers of Gear 5, could really do whatever they saw fit, fighting however they so choose, bending the laws of the world around them to be as free and to make as many others free as it can be. This all comes, as far as we know, with no drawbacks or limitations, at least while in their god form, short of a debatably taxing stamina requirement. For everyone who sat through to this point though, I'm sure you'd really like to hear about how strong that I think this makes our favorite straw-headed protagonist at this point in the series. Has he finally caught up with his ungodly, planet-cracking Big Three brothers? Yeah, still no. This isn't Luffy's Six Paths Jump the Shark moment quite yet. But I'll still tell you, as one of the most powerful characters in the world of One Piece, rivaling the likes of Kaido and Shanks, Luffy still scales incredibly high. If you want a slightly more in-depth breakdown, I'll link a video in the end for you, but to sum it up, my personal interpretation of Luffy and his power level would place his AP at multi-continental, 10 to the 23 through 10 to the 25 joules, lining up with Whitebeard and the ancient weapons being stated to be planet level, as well as many occasions of emperors splitting the sea, skies, and causing natural disasters. If you're looking for blatant feats, Luffy can make fists the size of an island that cause volcanic eruptions with its impact, and Prime Garp turned a dude's face who could split continents in half into a bowl of jello. Luffy's durability should be exceptionally good within his own weight class because of all the aforementioned hockey and hacks, and in terms of speed, he should be reasonably FTL with FTL plus reactions, as he has precog amped by being able to see the literal future. And in comparison to all of other animes as a whole, Luffy is respectably powerful and only really surpassed by characters with their own form of endgame godlike power. But with his story still well over half a decade from completion, I'd bet after hearing everything I just told you, you'll probably agree that our future King of the Pirates still has a whole lot more left to show us, and a whole lot more smiles to bring us. I'm really glad I could be a part, if only a little one, of the biggest anime moment of our generation, and, well, once this mighty sun god comes out to play again in the anime or manga, you can best believe I'll be on it in a hurry. If you want more, click the card. And Joy Boy. Joy Boy has returned. That's all for today. Thanks.